Animal cruelty is a rising problem around the world today. While many people would like to think animal cruelty no longer exists, what people fail to realize is that it is still happening, even more so. Animals have feelings just like humans do, and those feelings need to be respected. Have you ever thought about where that meat came from that you eat at your fast food restaurant? Or how about those cosmetics that you use? How maybe those were deemed suitable for use? Or that dog that you see that's not being treated right by your neighbor? Did you know that all of these are animal abuse and that these animals need us to stand up for them? What are the different types of animal cruelty? Well, animal cruelty is often broken down into two major types: active and passive abuse. Active abuse is cruelty that implies malicious intent, where a person has deliberately and intentionally harmed an animal. And passive cruelty is types of neglect, where the crime is the lack of action rather than the action itself. However, do not let this terminology fool you, because this is still a serious type of abuse, and it's something that needs to be stopped. You come across these types of abuse every day in our life. Everybody does. And one of the major types of active abuse is slaughterhouses. Slaughterhouses are horrible. The animals in slaughterhouses can see, smell, and hear the ones that often go to slaughter before them, and this causes the animals to struggle, and as these animals struggle, they are beaten by the workers who are under constant pressure to keep the lines moving rapidly, because they have to get this meat out so that they can make money, because this is how they make their living. Another type of active abuse is dogfighting, and dogfighting is horrible. It is a horrible thing, and it has come to the surface recently, a couple years ago, because of a football player. But dogfighting is illegal in all 50 states in the U.S., which is something that is great, because the animals that are made to participate in dogfighting are animals that thought that they were going home with an owner to be loved and taken care of, but no, they were going home so that they could be trained to fight to the death with another animal. This just sickens me. Another form of this is animal testing, and there's still tons of companies today that do animal testing, and very popular companies that I didn't even know did animal testing are participating in animal testing. These companies are, just to name a few, are Johnson & Johnson, Maybelline, CoverGirl, even Windex tests on animals, this is awful. These animals have to suffer to see if these products are suitable for our use. Before we can use them, these animals have to suffer. I've listed a website where you can go to see if maybe one of your favorite companies is listed on here as still using animals for testing, and I would love if everyone would go look at this website. Passive abuse is another main type of abuse done to an animal by its owner. This is the main type of abuse in the United States by an animal that is the most common form of companionship that an animal wants is an owner, and it's being abused by its owner. That just isn't right. It's not something that any animal should go through. What falls under this category is starvation and neglect. If you neglect to take your pet to the vet if it's sick, this is a form of passive abuse. If you fail to help an animal that you know is being abused, this is another form of passive abuse, and you are committing a crime. But you can help these animals in the smallest way that you want to. You can help these animals. Any help is help. By simply your voice. Your voice is a huge help to these animals and can save a life. Really, it can. Tell people what's going on. And if you see an animal that's being abused, you need to tell somebody about it, and you need to contact somebody. You can contact your local police. They can do something, or your local ASPCA, or even PETA can help you out, or an animal shelter. And if you have a pet, be a responsible pet owner. This is another way to prevent abuse. So if you have a cat, keep your cat indoors so your cat's not just going out and straying. And that means your cat's open to abuse from other people. I'm not saying that you're going to abuse your cat, but if your cat's out there by itself, that means other people have access to it. And always keep your dog on a leash. This is a big, big concern because dogs get excited and they jump, and dogs get in fights with other dogs, and this is a huge thing that can be prevented if you just simply keep your dog on a leash. And spread the word. That's another main one that you can do to help. Spread the word. Tell your friends and family facts and information about preventing animal cruelty, and tell them ways that you are going to help. And another one is get to know and look at the animals in your neighborhood. I'm a big, big supporter of this one. So being aware, you're going to notice if something is wrong with your neighbor's pet. So if the dog next door, say, was hefty at one point and now has had a rapid weight loss, this is a huge indicator of animal abuse. You can help animals in bigger ways also. If you're interested in that, you can. I know it's hard to help animals that are raised in slaughterhouses and that are used for animal testing, but you can help them by volunteering at your local PETA or ASPCA. You can help, or by not using those products that are companies that still use animals for testing. I've listed a website, like I said, and I would love for everyone to go and look at it. But also do your own research. If maybe you want to know if a certain restaurant uses free range or slaughter meat, then do that research and you can find it out. By eating free range meat, you're preventing those animals, or preventing at least some animals, from being slaughtered. And it's also healthier for you because it's free of hormones and anything that the animal picked up to make it bigger and have leaner meat and more fat on it. You are not putting those chemicals into your body. I'm not saying everyone should go out to McDonald's and form a picket or boycott their favorite food if it's Chick-fil-A or Chipotle, because some places really do care about animals and only use free-range meat, such as Chipotle. They only use free-range meat. But I'm just saying that you can take simple, tiny steps to help a big problem. Did you know that animals that are used in the circus, such as elephants, are kept in chains for as long as 24 hours a day? That's a whole day. That's a whole day. Since they're babies, they're kept in chains. They're chained to a pole. Or by 2022, almost 22% of all species are going to be extinct if no change is made. We have to change something, or our children are not going to be able to know the animals that we know. How about the fur coat that you think is pretty cool? Did you know that it takes 15 red foxes to make a fur coat? Or 55 minks to make a mink coat? That's 55 animals to make one coat. And imagine how many are out there. I am so thankful that there's groups such as PETA's and ASPCA to help these animals. But I am so grateful for people who also help the animals. The abuse that animals suffer at human hands is heartbreaking, sickening, and infuriating. As hard as it is to think about animal abuse, we cannot stop the animal suffering if we simply just look the other way and pretend it's not happening. Animals are counting on compassionate people like you and I to be their voice and give them a voice. We have the power to prevent animal abuse. The only thing that's stopping it is ourselves. Together we can make a difference, and I hope that you will join me in helping these animals. Thank you.